Nairobi we went on a day trip to Hell's Gate National Park and Crescent Island Game Sanctuary. The sanctuary was used for filming parts of the movie Out of Africa, and some say that the movie placed most of the wild animals on the island. There are no vehicles on the island, so walking is the only way to get around. No predators animals allowed. Giraffe, zebra, hippo, gazelle, birds, and wildebeest only. We also did a half-day game drive in Nairobi National Park. The next stop, a small bush plane from Nairobi to an airstrip in the Masai Mara Conservancy. A fly-in safari. 3 nights at the Matera Bush Camp in deluxe tents and multiple game drives. Our camp was very close to the Mara River. Another bush plane back to Nairobi. From Nairobi a bush plane down to Amboseli National Park airstrip. The plane had to circle around once before landing. Zebra were on the one dirt runway. Setauelere Bush Camp in deluxe tents and 3 days of game drives. Overland from Amboseli through a remote border crossing into Tanzania. An overnight stay in Arusha, before heading to Tarangire River Camp and the Tarangire National Park for 1.5 days of game drives. Then off to Lake Manyara National Park for an all-day game drive and the farmhouse lodging by Ngorongoro Crater. A full day of game drives in the crater, followed the next day by a bush plane to the northern Serengeti and the Lamala Mara mobile tented camp for 5 nights. Multiple game drives and a hot air balloon safari over the Serengeti. From the northern Serengeti, another bush plane to the border of Tanzania and Kenya. A van to the border crossing customs and then another bush plane to the Masai Mara and Sentinel Mara tented camp. Back to Nairobi via another bush plane and then off to Rwanda for guerrilla trekking. Matera Mara tented camp is near the Mara River and Masai Mara, Kenya. A nice camp with a view of the savannah from our tent and just a 1/4 of a mile from where Lion Pride would sleep at night. Setauelere is a tented camp just outside of Amboseli National Park. We had great views of Mount Kilimanjaro from our front porch. A watering hole by the main lodge was frequently visited by elephant, giraffe, zebra, gazelle, and warthogs. Tarangire River Camp was just outside of Tarangire National Park. The camp was right along a dry riverbed, which was frequented by elephant. The Ngorongoro farmhouse was more of a luxury lodge with cabins. We had great views of Ngorongoro Crater from the lodge and our cabin. Lamala Mara mobile tented camp moves with the migration. It was located right near the Mara River, providing us numerous access to the Mara River and wildebeest migrations. At night prior to dinner, we would all gather around a fire pit and have drinks and appetizers, while watching the sunset. Sentinel Mara Camp was right on the Mara River. Every tent and the main tents were along the river, with great views of the crocs and hippos. Birds chirping, hippos doing what they do, would be our background noise. Everyone would gather around a fire at night, having a drink and eating popcorn, prior to dinner. We even had one night with Sheila and Ron being the only 2 in camp.